Okay, so we've created our chapter divider. We've created master pages for the internal content. We might want to, I don't know, include some text in here just as a placeholder, but probably not. We'll see. But we can decide that after. What we want to do right now is import some styles, because right now we have a need for some styling here. There's not much going on except for the standard text. I want to open my styles, paragraph styles window, and unless there's a really good reason for it, it should always be paragraph styles, and character styles should be reserved for one word or one character styling, one off. No need for anything more than that. So let's click paragraph styles here and bring that panel to the forefront. Now what we want to do is minimize the amount of work. We can either custom create every single style we're going to need here, or we can import them from another existing document. So to import them, in the paragraph styles panel, click the little flyout menu here and go to load paragraph styles. And what we're going to do is browse to the existing document that we have in our Concordia InDesign 2 for import. You obviously might have this saved somewhere else, maybe in your downloads folder, maybe in another project, but basically as long as you have access to it, you should be able to click here and open, and you'll notice shortly thereafter you'll have this dialog open, and it'll ask you which styles do you want to import, and for the sake of simplicity you could probably import them all. Click OK, and you'll see that these are well organized. So in your body text you'll have existing styles that you can apply. Front matter, that's probably geared towards other types of content. You know, poetry styles, if you have some poems and stuff in your content, these will be formatted for optimizing them. Titles like headings, subtitles, and any special specifics like page numbers and chapter markers and what have you. So, see what happened? It actually changed all my boxes here, so it's no longer Times New Roman. And because that happened, it's because my basic paragraph now has been restyled. Okay, so if I double click basic paragraph, I'll see now that the basic character is Montserrat, a font which has been made available for you to download from either Google Fonts or the website, and hopefully installed on your computer already. So the default size is 10 point Montserrat, which means that these boxes that I've created are not tall enough to accommodate it. See, if I make it a bit smaller, you'll start seeing it appear in all these containers, but at that point it's way too small. So let's keep it at 10 point and go back and modify these containers. Right? The giveaway is these little plus signs over here telling you that there's content in here that is not displaying. So let's just make sure everything shows before we continue. And now you can select any one of these containers and reformat them as needed. So you can try the different styles. Just select and click. Author's name 10 point. Publisher name italic. See how it changed right away just by clicking that style. The book title, that's an important one. Maybe that's something that we can choose for our chapters as well. So if I go back to my pages, switch to my chapter divider, let's see what I got here. Right, so here's my chapter section. If I choose book title, ooh, way too big. Ooh, nice. That's interesting. Right? So play around, have some fun. This is the creative portion of the assignment, so you can have some fun with it. If you don't like this, you could try something else. For example, if we go back to our original idea of having this black container here as the chapter backdrop, and this being our text on top of it, maybe we would go with a different type of special chapter marker here. Ooh, nice. Maybe a bit too big. But to change that, you could go here and let's bring the size down a bit. Okay, so that's going to be there. We might want to change the leading a bit. Okay. So that might be still a little too narrow for that black box. Let's bump it up a bit. And now I can select the black box and the text, or I can just click and drag like this to select both of them. And I can go up here and align them. Now aligning them center this way might be a little tricky because these are two different size containers. So I'm just going to eyeball the center for the text. Beautiful. All right. So I would go around and continue formatting stuff with placeholders. I'm just going to add a bit of color here so it stands out a bit more so I can see it. Black, and I'm going to make it only 10% opacity by clicking here. So it's just enough for me to remind me that there's something that should go here, an image, an illustration, whatever. I'm going to go back to my chapter content, and I want to see what my paragraph is going to look like. So I'm going to insert a placeholder text frame here. There it is. And I'm just going to copy and paste it here on the other side as well. So Control C, Control V for a quick copy paste. So what I want to do is click here to make this story, to make this text frame the master primary text flow. So everything is going to start here in the top left and flow the other way. So I'm going to click here to assign that, and you can see it turns into a little arrow over here, a little icon. And what I also want to do is click this linking area, this little divot over here, click it, and your cursor turns to this little text icon, and when you hover over another text frame, it turns into a link. So I want to thread these frames. There you go. So now the text is going to thread from here to there. And if I want to keep my threading visible, I can click on here on extras under the view menu and show text threads. Right, so now it's showing me that this text frame over here is going to link to this text frame over here. So I just move them a bit so you can see them because the margins might prevent you from seeing them clearly. But you can see that the text is going to go from here and flow into that one. So that's perfect. Let me start by adding maybe just a bit of text to see if that's going to work. Type, fill with placeholder text. Perfect. So this is just basic paragraph text, which I can choose from here. Body text. So these are all prefabricated styles for this. Body text left. Click here. And you can see different styles are going to kick in any moment now. So if you're having trouble getting the styles assigned to these particular frames,